In this video, we tackled a very difficult 9-ball rack stemming from a pretty bad break. This video is the opposite and covers a very basic 9-ball runout stemming from a good but somewhat controversial break in today's pool world. But as you know, if you're a pool player, we can take a simple rack and make it as impossible as it could be. So there's a very conscious agenda to keep it as simple as possible. We're basically dealing with a straight pull pattern with elements of aggressive 8 and out 1 pocket patterns. You can step back and say this isn't anything impressive, but if you think about it, what these players are doing is actually very impressive. They have learned to keep things simple, and that is a very difficult thing to do within itself. And they're really not concerned with impressing anyone that's watching them. Their concern is all about getting the money so they can eat and have a roof over their heads. I could take one of these shots and bank it 4 rails in an effort to impress you. But that would be beyond ignorant. Keeping it simple is a battle within itself, and it's what this game is all about. If a person comes up to you after you win a tournament or a big huge match and says, "Man, how do you make all those difficult shots?" that's a guaranteed sign that you're doing things all wrong. If, on the other hand, someone comes up to you and says, "Man, you make it all look so easy," that is the ultimate compliment. And that's true whether you're hanging drywall or playing pool. This is what gets people out there trying to figure out how you make it all look easy. This is what inspires humanity. And that is when you'll know you made it. 2 balls went on to break, the 4 ball and the 6 ball. And if you can figure out a way to do this consistently, your life is going to be way easier than the average 9-ball player. And you know those little drills that people do where all the balls are headed to the same pocket and they're all lined up and your job is to get the right position on the next one? Well, those are Mosconi drills from way back. And some people try to claim them as their own and they make YouTube videos out of them. But Mosconi was doing that long before these guys were ever little fishes swimming off to be the first to fertilize some woman's egg. And frankly, someone was probably doing them long before Mosconi ever came along. But anyway, they'll come in real handy on this rack if you do them and you're confident with them. So the big thing with this 1 ball is just to be conscious about where the 5 ball is. The last thing you want to do, of course, is to get hooked behind this 5, and it's a whole lot easier than you might think. So just keep that in mind as you come off the right hand rail. You want to come at least a little bit back up table for the 2 ball. In fact, you would like to put the cue ball right where it is now before you shoot the 1 ball, because you need that angle to get on the right hand side of the 3 ball. In fact, if we look at the lines for the rest of these balls, you can see similarities in that drill I was referring to. And on the 2 ball shot, I'm going 2 rails to get back on the 3, but what I really wanted to do is get straight in on the 3 to pull it back a little bit for the 5 ball, and from there it's easy to get right on the 7 and 8 and get out of this rack. But I don't get perfect on the 3, I don't get straight in, I get an angle. And now I have to decide what to do on the 5. And I decide to get in back of the 5 for a shot, again in the bottom left-hand corner. 6 of these 9 balls are going in the bottom left-hand corner. And as I shoot this shot, you might have a legitimate question about why I didn't spin the cue ball a little bit more off the left-hand side rail and go further in back of the 5, because I come quite close to the 5 ball and have to recoil my stroke when I shoot it to get right on the 7 ball. And the reason I don't spin it is because I can see the natural angle coming off that left hand rail. And to me, it's actually more than perfect. It's going to take a little bit of finesse, and it's going to take a lot of experience and knowledge on what that cue ball is going to do. Now, it's okay if you want to spin it and go further back up table to give yourself a little bit more room, but you're going to be moving the cue ball a little bit more, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to stop the cue ball and get perfect on the 5. But then again, if you come up short on the 5, you have the perfect angle to stun it over to the right hand side of the table. So, I mean, your way is good too. Nobody's gonna yell at you. And hey, if I ever yell at you, you have permission right now to pop me upside the head. Now, I did use your logic on the 7 ball and go way further up table than most players would go. They would choose to come up around here and shoot a cut shot on the 8 ball and get on the right side of the 8 ball. And that's exactly what I would do if I was playing one pocket, but I'm not playing one pocket. I want a stop shot on this 8 because it leaves me straight on the 9. So while I move the cue ball a little bit more than a normal player would move it on the 7, I'm now in a position where I have to move it less to get on the 9, and the 9 ball is the only ball that matters on this whole rack, as every 9 ball rack.